Hi everyone, my name is Beatrice Sanchez, and this is my fake news project on the topic if Wi-Fi can affect us or not. So the intro to this topic, if you are able to scan this QR code, it'll take you directly to the reel that this topic is about. But pretty much, I'm sure many of you guys have heard from either your peers or family that Wi-Fi directly harms humans. Scientific evidence supporting this claim is still lacking, and studies have indicated that Wi-Fi might affect our bodies, potentially causing damage to cells, the brain, and reproductive organs. However, further research is needed to fully understand the extent of Wi-Fi's impact on human health. So pretty much it does mean that there are some implications that Wi-Fi may affect us, but there is no concrete evidence proving that there is a direct link to certain illnesses or any other damages to our body due to Wi-Fi. So the reason I selected this topic was mainly because growing up, especially as a teenager, I would hear a lot from my parents and immediate family members that they came across a video online that was portrayed as a warning or informational video, and it would claim that Wi-Fi was harmful to humans, and it would often cause them to be a little bit paranoid and panic, even to go as far as moving the router across the Wi-Fi router to the opposite end of the house. And unfortunately the older generation is not as used to doing their own fact checking, so they often blindly believe what they hear on the internet or even from people that they trust. So it was a difficult time trying to explain that Wi-Fi does not have as big as an effect as they thought it may be, and especially being younger than them, it was a little bit more difficult. But now people are able to do their own type of research online, and I think it's very important that more individuals practice that same habit before they go ahead and start spreading false ideas, and it prevents them from creating any paranoia. So I believe this is related to kinesiology due to the physical health implications. Throughout the aging process, individuals may become more wary of the physical damage and effects that technology, especially Wi-Fi, may cause. And although it's not 100% fact-checked yet, adults may take into consideration their usage and influence it has on their health. And secondly, the socio-cultural and emotional impact. So this topic does raise the concern of how much people will invest in their own research into things that they come across online. So again, just not blindly believing what you hear and see online. It also shows how behaviors may change due to their new findings, and this reel in particular may cause people to decrease their internet usage or develop new perceptions on the impact of Wi-Fi exposure. So I just feel like it's very important that people are doing their own research before they take any extreme measures. So my findings within this project. So I did see that there were studies that hinted towards higher oxidative stress levels. And pretty much this refers to the condition in which there is an imbalance in oxygen levels within a human, which can lead to various diseases. So it is believed that Wi-Fi can emit EMFs and RFs, which are electric magnetic frequencies and radioactive frequencies that can lead to alterations in oxidative stress levels. So although these are just studies on more like lab rats, there were specific these findings were a little bit more prevalent in the rats that were exposed to Wi-Fi more so than the ones that weren't. And it is important just to take note because oxidative stress levels, when they're too high, they can result in organ failure, which again is the most extreme case. But that's just one of the distant harms that is believed to be caused by Wi-Fi. Secondly, there are different cell responses to Wi-Fi depending on the cell type. So different cell types have exhibited various responses to the Wi-Fi exposure. So cancer patients are believed to be the most susceptible to Wi-Fi exposure due to their already altered metabolism and other regulatory mechanisms. And, again, like I said, Wi-Fi doesn't have as extreme effects on cancer patients and, on humans as a whole, but cancer patients can be affected by numerous other exposures. A cold can be very detrimental to them. So although Wi-Fi does show that it can have a greater effect on cancer patients, if it is proven that their exposure is significant, but again, it's not as dangerous as people may think. So lastly, Wi-Fi can affect reproduction. So it is believed through the studies in their lab rats, which indicated that a potential increase in oxidative stress and changes in reproductive function in animal models and some human cell studies. So this suggests that Wi-Fi exposure might have implications for reproductive health. It was shown that for males that it could potentially lead to a lower sperm count. And at the very end, it does say more research because although these are the findings that I did see within the articles, it is still widely urged that you do continue to make your own research and, just keep tabs on what new research is released before you go ahead and start altering your day-to-day activities. And finally, is this true or false? So while the direct effects of Wi-Fi on human health may not be as significant as widely believed, there is evidence suggesting that Wi-Fi exposure can lead to oxidative stress and cellular damage, particularly in aging adults. So, however, the extent of these effects and their long-term implications require further research for a comprehensive understanding. While caution is warranted, I don't believe that extreme measures may not be necessary without additional evidence. So, to sum it up, I do believe that it is true Wi-Fi can potentially affect humans, but I don't believe it's as dangerous and as extreme as social media may portray it to be. And even articles, because there are a few articles that can cause paranoia and say things that are not extremely true. So again, you can tread lightly, be careful, be mindful of how much Wi-Fi you're using, but as of now, there is no studies that show a direct and significant harm to humans. So finally, an interesting fact. So I did find that in 2017, there was a myth saying that Wi-Fi can cause autism and other disorders like ADHD. However, in that same year, multiple researchers did step up to debunk the claim. And I thought, again, this was very interesting that, one small article that, an expert most likely did not write because there was a lot of fallacies within it. It is incredible to me that it just caused so much paranoia and possibly even gave parents of autistic children, some type of false hope because they may have felt like they had an explanation as to why their children or child is the way that they are. But unfortunately, this was debunked, and I think it's just important that people see how information can be falsely spread and spread on such a massive scale, and it doesn't matter pretty much where you get your information from, but it is important that you double check it and cross check it across multiple papers, because what one person may witness is not the same as the others, and it might just be a one-off. So again, it is very important that we do our best job at researching before believing. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for viewing this presentation. These are the 3 links that I used to gather my facts. And if you are interested a little bit more on the specifics on how Wi-Fi can affect humans, or how it is believed to affect humans, feel free to click on one of those links to dive into it a little bit more.